considering what took place in Melbourne, is in the way Sri Lanka played and the game in Sydney in the last 2 days. How do you sort of look at how they have sort of improved their performances?
Yeah, sort of mixed feelings in a way, in that it's been a much better performance than at the MCG, and a number of young players have really come in and shown that they've got some guts and a desire to play at this level. So that's been really good. On the other hand, perhaps it would have been it's certainly possible for us to get a few more 40 or 50 last night, get a little bit of a more competitive score, and then maybe if one or two chances had stuck today, or a couple of things had gone our way, we might have been in a better position. Although we're still in the game, we might have been in quite a powerful position.
Graham, given the way things went out today, the boys must be feeling confident that they can achieve the first test win in Australia.
Look, I think they certainly know they're in the game, and they've fought hard, and they deserve to be in the game because of the spirit and the fight that they've shown. They're very well aware that it's going to be very tough from here on, but the great thing is that we certainly haven't been blown away, and we're certainly not in the situation that we were in at the MCG. So I think they'll take a lot of heart from that.
Graham, the first ball that Michael Clarke faced hit him on the pad. There was some kind of an appeal. Any regrets for not referring that one?
Look, it was tough for Mahela. Unfortunately, they didn't review it, and they should have, and it could have been a very different game. But apparently, the umpire felt that he might have got a nick on that. And for Mahela standing at slip, it's very hard to gauge whether there was any bat involved or not. And I think that was the reason for not reviewing it.
I feel as if the game, even though you're slightly behind now, the game is set up for Rangana in the last day with his spin.
Well, it's no doubt that's an advantage we have, is hopefully being able to bowl last when it should be the toughest time to bat. So getting some sort of a decent lead, can make it very tough for Australia. Could be a very exciting finish to the match.
Graham, after the disappointment at the MCG, how tough was it to get the mindset of the boys right?
Sorry, did you say how difficult was it? Yeah, it's always hard because that really was a disappointing performance, and I think the players had a good look at themselves. We discussed a few things, and fortunately, a lot of the boys and some of the senior boys have shown a lot of character and getting the guys together. And we didn't have a lot of time to regroup, but I think we regrouped quite well, particularly having to ship in a few replacements, etc.
Graham, Rangana's bowled economically all tour, and he's done well when the Australians have tried to go after him as well. What was the reason he was held back in that first session? He didn't bowl at all when Australia were, being quite aggressive.
Yeah, I had a little chat with Mahela, and I think it was quite a tough call. He really felt that the off spin would cause more of a problem with the left-handers at the crease, so he went for the off spin option. And I think was very close to going to the double spin option in that session, but in the end decided to give the young seamers some time to settle. I think they were quite nervous to start with and got into their work as the day went on, and Mahela felt that to get them into their work and get them bowling a reasonable spell would help them settle.
And when he did come on, he was bowling to quite a setback field. He was, I think, four guys out. But what's the reason he bowls to such defensive fields when he starts off?
Well, we were in a situation that when he came on where we needed to try and just get a bit of control back. Australia were racing away with it at that stage, so it was kind of an in-out field where Mahela is very good, I feel, at setting those fields. Always making sure there is a chance of taking wickets, but at the same time controlling the run rate and giving the spinner some sort of protection.
Mahela batted very nicely first innings. You'd be looking to your skipper, I suppose, when it's time to bat again. His last test as captain, and It's something that he's done before, I suppose, to lift the team in a situation like this.
Well, it was fantastic to see him get out and play so well, and it just shows what a great leader he is. He was immediately up for the challenge of going up the order and going into bat at 3. He played superbly and was really hopeful that he would get 100, seeing as this is his last Test match as captain. But for sure, he'll have a very important role to play in the second innings. But once again, it's not down to any one particular individual. It's going to require a team effort.
The guard of honour, was that an impromptu thing by Mahala, or was that something that you guys had talked about for Mike Hussey when he came out onto the ground?
No, that was Mahala's doing, yeah, very much.
Graham, you lost quite a few guys for injuries throughout this tour. How disappointing was it to lose someone ahead of the Test match playing football?
Look, I've had a fair share of disappointments now on the injury front. It's been pretty tough along the way. But you know, to have a frontline bowler who's really made some progress on the tour go down injured on the eve of the Test match was a big blow. I think he's come on in leaps and bounds as a young bowler and has an exciting future. He's had a little bit of an injury history, so a setback for him and obviously a big setback for us as a team and from a coaching staff point of view, very disappointing.
Would you perhaps consider banning football during training?
Look, it was a bit of a freak accident. He rolled his ankle, and that can happen in any sort of activity. But that's something that we'll have to consider. It's up for debate and review.
Graham, could you just clarify the Clark first ball? You said the umpire suggested it might have been a nick. Is he talking to the players before they consider the review?
No. Sorry. To clarify that, no information was given to the players before the review. But what I was trying to say is for Mahala to make the call, if the umpire who had a very good view of the decision, his reaction after he was asked why he hadn't given it out after the review, he said he thought that Clark had hit it. So very tough for Mahala to make an accurate judgment from behind the batsman.
I mean, I guess it is, but can you just explain why it's tough for a captain to have to consider making that decision to go to the review or not if you've already burnt one earlier on and lost the earlier review?
Well, I think he's wanting to keep his reviews intact, and having blown one, was reluctant to blow another one straight away, not being absolutely certain that it was out. I think in all instances the captain tries to get as much information as he can from fielders, the square fielders, as to what the height was like, the bowler, what he feels, and for the captain to use his own sort of gut feel. But it all happens pretty quickly, and you've got to make that decision. And I think it's the second one in the series where he was out, but he hasn't asked for the referral. It's all unfortunate, but it's history now.